The Afghan Taliban has taken over the whole country, and they have promised to make changes in the right directions. So why don't we give them a chance? And who actually did the biggest damage in Afghanistan? It's American-led war. It's NATO forces.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was a Chinese military insider explaining why Beijing is already eyeing Afghanistan for their next great conquest following President Biden's botched withdrawal. The Chinese have offered the new terrorist-controlled government $31 million in aid. They're already getting ready to take over the airport in Kabul, and they have declared that their embassy shall remain open for business. Here now is Georgia Congressman Andrew Clyde and Louisiana Congressman Clay Higgins. Congressman Higgins, I'll start with you. It's very clear to anybody with half a brain that China is not our friend, that they are not only being friendly with our enemies, they are actually formalizing relationships with them, all while we have a White House that says they are just engaged in friendly global competition. How do we actually get to a point where we can start addressing this threat with the urgency it deserves before China does truly become the chief underwriter for the terrorist threat to the Western world?
Well, for Americans, that would begin with holding our executive branch to account, abandoning our airfield at Bagram before executing the withdrawal of U.S. citizens, American allies, and billions of dollars worth of modern American weaponry was a catastrophic failure of strategy and leadership from our executive branch. And that decision, it really points out the ineptness of the Biden administration. So on this somber day, when we reflect upon what it is as a nation to suffer from a coordinated attack from a jihadist enemy, America should be well aware that we have been put in a position where this can happen again. And we've been put in this position not by enemies abroad, but by enemies within. We have an executive branch that has turned the massive power of the executive government upon the American people in several seriously unconstitutional moves, and the abandonment of American honor and strength overseas, while we weaponized our jihadist enemy in the form of the Taliban, made them incredibly strong and well armed. And now China is going to come in there and they're going to occupy that airfield. They're going to partner themselves with the Taliban because they have a common enemy, the United States of America, and every American watching should be shocked and should be prepared to take action legally, peacefully, within the parameters of the Constitution to remove this executive branch.
Now, Congressman Clyde, I'll come to you because to your colleague's point and to the point of this administration, if China is our friend and they're taking over the airbase we left behind, why doesn't this president simply ask them, China, will you please fly home the Americans we left behind? Or is China really doing what most people of good conscience think they're doing, which is flying out the poppy for the drugs that are flooding our southern border and flying out the planes that they left behind so that we can actually end up in a world where they're actually re-engineering American technology to use against American soldiers abroad?
Well, thank you for having me. I'll tell you, China is not our friend. China here has decided that they're going to partner with the Taliban, something that we will never do, we should never do, and we should hold our administration to account to not do this sort of a thing, because that is just absolutely the wrong way to lead this country. We are not just in competition with China. China is indeed our enemy, and the Biden administration has truly shown its lack of leadership in this failed retreat from Afghanistan. To leave Bagram to the Chinese or to the Russians, either one, would be a severe blow to the United States. But this is what China wants. I mean, and honestly, I think as we've seen, the Biden connections into China from the previous administration of Obama and Biden, I think there's a cozy relationship there, and it wouldn't surprise me if President Biden does absolutely nothing about this and doesn't challenge the Chinese. We left a strategic asset when we left Bagram Air Base. It was right in the middle between China, Russia, Iran, and the other Pakistan, the other countries there. It was a very, very poor leadership decision.
Now, Congressman Higgins, I'll come back to you because I've got the press secretary for this White House saying that the Taliban are operating in a professional manner, all while the government actually formally introduces members of the Taliban who are effectively on the world's most wanted list, $5 million bounties on their head. So are we just living in two completely alternative universes? Or does this administration clearly have no idea about the impending danger that they have effectively placed the American people in?
Well, the president's press secretary is the quiz master of a game show. It's impossible to take that lady seriously. So one would suspect that those that control the inaugurated president of the United States, Joe Biden, behind the scenes know exactly what they're doing to the peril and detriment of America and our future, and to the shock of our allies worldwide. The executive administration has made decisions that are obviously contrary to the best interests of not only our nation, but to the free world. So, those guys are not stupid. It's questionable whether or not President Biden is all there mentally, and I say that respectfully and compassionately, but that's reality. And those behind the scenes that are pushing the buttons, one would think that they know exactly what they're doing, and they're taking their actions despite the fact it endangers America and freedom worldwide. So it's time to do something within Congress. I call upon my colleagues of reasonable mind on both sides of the aisle to stand with us as we congressionally and within the parameters of the Constitution endeavor to remove the commander-in-chief and restore some semblance of order to America's foreign policy and the domestic policy decisions that are made out of our White House.
All right. We could do this all day with both of you. Unfortunately, have to pay the electric bill. But Congressman Clyde, Congressman Higgins, God bless you both. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Still to come, we've seen many symbols of our country